Okay, we're back with the question and answer. I had an overwhelming amount of emails after the home hair care party, and most of those questions were dealing with what is the difference between heat damage and heat memory. Well, most of them were saying they have heat damage, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that there is a difference between heat damage and memory, heat memory. And making sure that people get a grasp of it, it's going to have to take some, a little bit of dealing with some psychosis with this. Everybody know that I'm a life coach as well, and when you're dealing with people and having to unlearn something, you challenge who they got the information from more so than the information, especially when they got it from somebody that they trust, they believe in, and they don't know you, so you just an outsider to them telling them something that they believe somebody else was telling the truth. So in some of the conversations that I had prior to making this video, a lot of people believe because they can Google it, they find out heat damage, or they'll Google that word and they'll see what it is, but they had no idea that there was also something called heat memory. So when I said all that to say this, when I go in to deal with this, I want to make sure that people don't take it personal. It is information that you may have not heard, and I'm the type of person that I believe that when you have information that is something different than what you have learned, hear it out first, do your own research, and be ready to release it if it is true and it has facts and it has true knowledge to it. And don't be ashamed that you didn't know it before somebody else, and please don't be prideful when you're sharing it with somebody else that didn't know it before you. I'm just like that. If you knew something before me, you bragging about it doesn't make it any better. That now we both know because you told me and I shared it with you. Okay, so we got to do that, the mental part of that. So, heat damage. The word damage is the key in this whole thing. And y'all know in prior videos or early in these sections with the home hair care party, I told you about my hair strand that I created. And I created the hair strand with damage, so you can see. Damage meaning that there's no cuticles protecting the cortex here. These represent the cuticles, as I told you earlier in the videos. And these spots that look bad, they look bad on purpose because that's what a blown up hair strand would look like that had damaged areas in that one strand. And it can actually be that way. What we would call these areas is weak points or area of demarcation, where, let's say if it was starting to split, it'll come down and split. What I'm trying to make sure you understand is damage is damage. So if I say heat damage, that means heat, the heat that I was using from the flat iron or blow dryer has caused the hair strand to have damage like this. Easily and readily ready to break off. Dry, brittle, and soon to break off. Now, with heat memory though, heat memory is something that you have to understand. It's still healthy. The key here is, like, people would say that have natural hair, and this normally only applies to people with natural hair. If they have natural hair and they got it flat iron, and then they say, I must have heat damage because my curl won't come back. The issue here is when you're asking for services like blowouts, flat irons, and you're doing it more than every week, or more than every 2 weeks, more than monthly, then you have to have the understanding that your hair, when we flat iron it, we're at a certain temperature, and we flat iron for real thick density and a real curly curl pattern natural hair. As long as it have protectants in it, heat protectants, like leave-in conditioners, protein. You have everything in our product line with Basic has heat protectants in it. And we always, as you heard earlier, we always go with moisture, detox purification, and more moisture. And then our boost, which has our quinoa protein in it. And then we go to moisture again. And then on that third moisture, or on that fourth moisture, what we're adding is the boost conditioning treatment, which we give that every 4 weeks. And that's only done by a professional. So I said all that to make sure you understand that this head of hair has the protectants in it, and she is all natural, but she decided that she did like to have the straightness without having a relaxer. So there is another alternative to relaxer, and that is flat ironing to purposely achieve heat memory, which is when you are flat ironing, the protein that's in the hair, because hair is made of protein, everything that you do with it with heat, it holds the memory of that. So shampooing it, only your new growth will still have the curl pattern, but the ends will remain elongated or straight. And elongated means that the curl pattern is now stretched. It's no longer tight. So, is that damaged? Look for yourself. There's nothing damaging about her hair. And this is our model and my client. I'll let her tell you. Do you feel like your hair damaged?
No.
Okay, you don't want to talk to the screen? Okay, shake your hair then. Just shake your hair. Okay, she's acting a little shy. Tiffany, I can't believe you're acting shy right now, but that's okay. But even with that said, I still want you to know that when you're using temperatures and you don't want to have the heat memory, then you have to bring the temperatures down. And the higher temperature, the longer the memory. The lower the temperature, the lower the time span for the memory is less. You can get your curl pattern back as long as you have not been continuously on purpose making sure that you were at high heat, because that can have it go a very long time, and you may have to end up cutting it out to get it, because most people would want their curl back quicker. But the key here is it's still not damaged. It's another alternative to having a relaxer, having the hair straight. And our other alternative to our relaxer is our one-step smoothing system. And that elongates the curl as well, and it stays in your hair for 12 weeks or 20 shampoos. But keeping in mind, the flat iron rule is the same. Heat memory, not heat damage. You will only have heat damage is if you do not have the protectants, and you can also have heat damage because you're not having the protectants in there that protects it from the heat, and you're not on a regimen. And that regimen meaning we recommend the regimen because it's basic, it's simple. The products are doing exactly what they are supposed to be doing to the hair. Your moisture, you must have. And I want to make sure that everybody understands that if you have somebody with dry, brittle hair, the goal is to get it corrected. But most people would want to put protein. If say the dry, brittle, breaking off, the first thing they want to do is go with protein. I'm telling you now, you want to go with moisture. Just think about it. If your plants were dry, would you put protein on it, or would you put water? Or would you put moisture on it? You would put moisture. Then you will come back with another type of moisture, and that is our carbon tea tree shampoo, which the carbon is a activated charcoal. It's purifying, it's detoxing, and it's healing the scalp. That is also adding moisture. Some would say hydration, but that's the same. Hydration and moisture is the same. Then you would come with your with the protein in our quinoa protein. So with that said, you follow that back up with your moisture, and again, that's when you add the professional will add that protein of our boost conditioning treatment, and that will make sure that when you're doing your flat iron and you are doing silk wraps, you will still get hair that is straight, beautiful, beautiful shine, high gloss. We call it HD with our high intensity shine from our impact collection. But we want to make sure that you understand this difference between heat damage and heat memory. It's a big difference, and you need to know that heat damage is damage. It didn't have protectants on the hair, and it will end up needing the same things that we spoke of earlier concerning the moisture, the protein, moisture, and then addition to the treatment. So again, I just want everybody to make sure that they get that in. And if anybody have any arguments, debates, or whatever about it, then what you got to make sure that you do, especially when you're discussing it, talk to somebody with credentials. YouTubers, I don't know what they got as credentials, but we do. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, I'm a licensed instructor, and I'm a regional educator for basic hair care products. And all we want to do is get the right information to you. I don't want you to do anything other than making sure that you have proper information when you're asking questions about what your hair is doing. You should make sure that all the answers line up with the logic of moisture, protein, and moisture, as well as heat memory versus heat damage. And if anybody is using our product line, basic, and they're saying that they're, if they have used the one step or they use the relaxer, they have used any products, and they're saying that they got any type of dryness or anything like that, I want you to come to me and talk to me personally so I can help you. You can call me. I'll make sure that you get the information. It's on the screen, going across the screen right now. And I want you to call me and talk to me because I do one-on-one training. This is for the hairstylists, licensed cosmetologists, licensed professionals. I want y'all to hit me and get this information properly, get the how-to properly. We're doing the training. We want you to know it exactly how to do it so you can get the same results that we get. The results that we get are only because we do not skip steps, we don't add steps. When you add steps or you skip a step, you're going to get a different result, and that's not the product fault. A lot of people use product or misuse product, but then blame the product. That's what happens too with the relaxers. They got a bad name, and they're blaming the relaxer, but it's not the relaxer. It's the person applying it. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind. Hope that helped you with heat memory versus heat damage. There's nothing damaged about this, but her hair has heat memory in it. She wanted to keep it straight herself. This was her choice. This was her alternative to a relaxer. And I'm telling you, you can get that just with making sure that you have well-protected hair and heat memory. Remember that. It's not heat damage. Go ahead and shake your hair one more time, Tiffany. All right. That's healthy. All right. You ready? You ready to go now?
I'm ready.
She was almost a good model, but we good. Thank y'all. Thank you, Tiffany.
All right. You're welcome.
All right.